More and more drummers are using electronic kits live. And also more and more bands are using backing tracks live. And this is to make the band seem bigger, sound bigger. You can have a second guitar on there, you can have loads of keyboards, you can have a choir, an orchestra, whatever else you want. And it's a very quick and easy way of making any band sound much bigger. Normally, to do this, you'd have to take a computer on stage, but there's other ways of doing it. You can have backing tracks on your phone, on your iPad, anything like that. But both the Pro and the Pro X have got ways of doing backing tracks, which are very, very simple. This is why you don't have to fill your module with backing tracks. First one I'm going to talk about is guide audio. So what guide audio is you can have your backing tracks on a USB drive, you plug them in the back. You have to set up the tracks in a particular way. So you'd put the click on one side and you put the track in mono onto the other side. You plug it into the module, either module, and you tell the module that you're going to be using guide audio, and then you tell it whether it's the click is on the left or the click is on the right. Then the module routes the click and the track to the drummer's headphones, and just the audio to the outputs. So you can be playing to a click and track and everything else and be very, very comfortable, but just the track is going to the front of house so the audience can hear it. To show you how this works, I'll come to the Pro X. I've gone to the recorder settings and I've picked a track which I've started off with GA. So I've called it GA so I know it's a guide audio track. Now, if I press play, you'll hear the click on one side and you'll hear the track on the other. But I don't want that. I want just the audio coming out of the main left and right, and I want the click just coming to me. So if I press the setting button, and if I scroll all the way down until I get to play mode, and then I can choose how I want the sound from the recorder setting routed. So at the moment it's going to headphones, it's going to master left and right, and it's going to USB. But if I turn it to right guide, now the track on one side is going to the output, and the click and the track are coming to me in the headphones. So now if I press play, if I just come out of that, press play, I'm hearing both. I'm hearing the click in my headphones and I'm hearing the track, but you're just hearing the track. So it means I can just play along and everything is perfect. I can even change the mix as I'm going. The audio track will change the volume of the backing track and the click will change the volume of the click. Very, very handy, very, very useful. But if you don't want your backing tracks in mono and you want them in stereo, then you need the Pro X and you need to use LiveSet. Now, LiveSet is a really, really handy function. The most obvious thing it does is it puts all the kits you need for a gig into the right order. So you can have kit 32 to start with, then kit 41, etc., for your whole gig. Nice and simple. But what you can also do is you can assign a stereo backing track to each one of those steps, and you can get the module to generate the click. So you can have stereo backing tracks, the module generates the click, the drummer hears the click and the track, but only the track goes out to the front of house. Again, brilliant, really, really handy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come down to LiveSet. I'm going to press the live button. Sore Throat is a track I played earlier. I'm going to go up and I'm going to, actually let's come down, Brass Stab, there we go. Now, I can see that this step, step 2, is called Brass Stab. I can see that the kit I've chosen to play is Crisp Classic, which is user kit 13. And it tells me that the next track after this is called Big Chords. Now there's a play button here, but I don't want to hit that play button because I want to do it in a different way. So I've got my pad underneath the hi-hat and I've got it set up as it's a 3-zone pad so that when I hit that pad, the click will start in my headphones and then the track will start. So brilliant, I can control everything for a show just with my sticks in my hands, and I don't have to put my sticks down. As long as I can see the screen, then everything works absolutely perfectly. So it's as simple as this. And I can set this up incredibly easily. So what I need to do is, if I press the exit button, go into setting, and then I can see that track, brass stab, and I'm going to go into edit mode. Okay, so now if I come up to the top, I can see that that step is brass stab, and I can name it if I want to. If I go down, then I can choose the kit. So I've got user 13, which is crisp classic. I can then see that the tempo I want the click at is 100 beats a minute. I can also go into decimal points if I want to. So I could have it 100.3 or whatever else you need. Then I can go down to pre-count. Now what pre-count is, it will give you 1 or 2 bars of click before the track starts. And count off will play the click to start with, and then it'll take the click out after a set amount of bars. So if you just want the click to get you into the track and then stop, you can do it very, very easily. Then if I come down even further, I can see the track, the stereo backing track that I've assigned to this step, which is called Brass Stab Groove. And if I come down one more, I can see wave and click sync. So I've turned that to on. So that means that the module is listening to the track and it syncs the click to the track. Now, it needs to actually stay at one particular tempo. If you've got a track where the tempo goes up and down and there's different time signatures and stuff like that, it's not going to work. This only works with tracks at one tempo. But every track can be a different tempo, obviously, because you can choose the tempo that the click's running at. But to actually sync, synchronize together, then the track needs to be at a constant tempo the whole way through. But then you get something really, really useful. You have offset, and you can offset the start of the click by a number of seconds and a number of milliseconds. So if your backing track has got some big intro, big orchestral intro, you can get this to come in 5 seconds later, 10 seconds later, whatever you want, and you can fine tune it by millisecond changes, so it's absolutely dead on the click. And that's really useful, again, so I don't have to take a computer or anything else on stage. I can have everything running from the Pro X module. But then if you want more than that, going up the next level, a lot of bands are using a computer on stage for backing tracks. They're using programs like Ableton, Bitwig, Logic, Pro Tools, anything like that to run backing tracks. If you're that sort of band, well, then you can use the Pro X to control your computer. We can assign different MIDI CC data to the 7 knobs at the front of the module. These ones here, I could have them assigned to different settings. So I could have that as the volume of the bass player, for instance, that as the amount of delay on the lead singer, that one as the, the tuning of the backing vocals, whatever else you want. It's all very simple to do. I just come down here, I come to custom, and I scroll all the way until I see MIDI CC, and then I can assign different values and MIDI channels and data to each knob, and I can control any aspect of any device which has a MIDI socket. So I could very easily control, MIDI lights, Ableton or something like that, as I've said, effects, or if you've got something like a Kemper guitar amp with a MIDI in, you can control guitarist's effect settings. It's very, very useful again. But that's not all, because every single zone of every single pad, every rim, bell bow edge, whatever, can control any aspect of the module. So we can assign the rim of Tom 1 to change kit for me. We can assign the rim of Tom 2 to turn off all the sounds, whatever else you want. You can do this on both modules, the Pro and the Pro X. This is assignable pad functions. But only the Pro X has the LiveSet functionality. So I can start and stop a LiveSet backing track in stereo, I can go to the next step, or I can go to the previous step. But if I plug a 3-zone pad like the graphic shows into input 14, then I've got 3 different zones to play with. So I can have 3 different functions all on one pad.